What's up, Flockers? How y'all doing? Welcome back to another video. Today is our 2-year anniversary of relocating to Florida, so I wanted to come on today, make a video, which I haven't done in a while, I know, and let you guys know what's been happening, and I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of relocating to Florida. And if you're interested, then keep watching. Don't forget to hit the sub, like, and bell button so that you get notified every time I upload a video now, and it's going to be on a more regular schedule. So let's get into this video. So let's see. Today is our 2-year anniversary of moving to Florida, like relocating from Wisconsin. 2 years as of today. How do I feel about it 2 years later? Well, I still enjoy living in Florida. There are a lot of things that people really should know before they come here, because like you can visit Florida all you want and think it's great when you're here, but when you actually have to live here and work here and stay here, like you can never go back home. This is your home. It's a whole different story. After 2 years of living here, for us, we are at the point where we don't want to actually leave Florida right now, but I'm going to tell you we're at the point where we might leave the area that we're in. And the only reason that I say that is because it is a much older population than what we prefer. And with that said, we are going to start looking for other areas in Florida that we might feel more comfortable, per se. And other than that, like, not a lot has really changed. We enjoy Florida. We love the weather in Florida. And it's beautiful here, but the cost of living is very high. If you ever consider moving here, you really need to understand that the cost of living is high, or not so much maybe that it's high. I mean, you take it how you want to take it. Like, the wages are not keeping up with the cost of living in Florida, period. And where we live in Pinellas County, it's very expensive to live here. Housing is outrageous in this county alone. So our goal at this point is to stay in Florida for now, because we're not comfortable with making another huge move at this moment. So we're gonna stay in Florida, and we're gonna try to work this out the best way that we know how. Right. So with that said, there will be some videos coming that probably us checking out different areas in Florida, probably not too far from where we're at, and just comparing like wages and the cost of living, because I can go 10 minutes north from me right now, and honestly our housing costs will be reduced by like $200-300 a month. But that's more north. That's it's Pasco County. So it's just, like I said, if you're going to move here, you need to understand you will not make the same wages that you make up north. You will not. So don't come down here thinking that, you know, I used to make, you know, $30 an hour up north, but now, you know, down here I'm only making 20. If that, like, that's even hard to find around here. So you have to understand that your lifestyle is going to change. But for us, it's okay. Struggle with the thought of that, and just knowing that sometimes we don't have that, you know, a whole bunch of extra money in our pocket like we used to have. But in time, all that stuff will come. I feel like we're still adjusting, that it takes a good amount of time and it's 2 years later that we relocated here, and we still are not fully adjusted to all this. This now, to me, feels more like home than Wisconsin does, because we've been back home a couple of times, and we actually just went back home last week. We went for a family reunion. I'm kind of just chilling here by the couch. So we went back home for a family reunion, and it was wonderful. It was really, really nice seeing everybody, and we were super excited. And honestly, it was really hard to leave this time, but that's not because we consider Wisconsin like home to me. I mean, I don't consider Wisconsin my home anymore. I kind of feel like Florida is my home now. So 2 years later, I'm just now getting into the feelings that like Florida is actually my home. and not Wisconsin anymore. Now, I miss everybody back home. I miss being able to just call people up and hang out, because I can't do that anymore. And, I miss, my kids, obviously, and other family members. But at the same time, we have to live our lives for us, because honestly, everybody back home is living their lives. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even when we are or were back home, we didn't see people on a regular basis, and we lived in the same city, like blocks away from each other, and we didn't see each other. So, in my opinion, I really don't want to. The thought of packing up and going back home to the same old is not, or going back to Wisconsin, because I don't even consider it home anymore. I'm just used to saying it, I guess. But the thought of packing up and going back to Wisconsin it's a no. I get just depressed even thinking about it. I don't want to do it. My husband, on the other hand, was struggling a lot. He struggled a lot this time, and that's because he hasn't seen family in about a year. And so he struggled quite a bit this time when it was time to leave. And even being there, he kind of said he felt a little bit disconnected from people. And it was a whole family reunion. So we had family come in, fly in from Texas. And then we're the only ones here in Florida. And then everybody is mostly from Wisconsin, where we originally are from. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we were pretty bummed out the first few days that we got home. And this all comes with that relocation process. Like, at first, when you first get here, you're like, yes, this is the shit. And it's like, I live in Florida, and I'm so happy that it's warm all the time, and there's palm trees, and I live a mile from the beach. Like, it's literally, it's a mile to walk to the beach area, but it's literally across the street over here. I could walk 2 blocks, if houses weren't in the way, and be on the Gulf of Mexico. But that stuff all fades, guys, and you really are then hit with reality that there's no one here for you. There's no one here for you, and all we really have is each other. So my husband and I, when we got back, we really went into a thing. We were both bummed out. We've been bummed out for the past few days, but that's something that comes along with this type of lifestyle, that we are not living the lifestyle that everybody expects us to live. Like, everybody expects us to be back home, everybody expects us to be in Wisconsin and be with them and be around family, and like, they can't understand how we left family and moved over here. I'm an adventurous person. Like, I can drop shit and go. Like, I don't get connected to a lot of things, and what I do get connected to, obviously, is people, but my immediate family, my children. That's what I'm connected to, and that's what I miss terribly, and my grandchildren. So, but since we have been here for 2 years, I see them every few months, because if I'm not visiting there, they're visiting here. Like, so, I don't know, you guys. If you're going to relocate here, you really need to put a lot of thought into this and understand that it's not a vacation all the time. Relocating is not easy. It's 2 years later, and we are still adjusting to this whole relocation thing. And, you have to understand that, when you get down here, from wherever you're coming from, if you've lived there your whole entire life, and you are just, everybody's there, all your connections are there, your family's there, just everything that you've ever known in your life, which was how Wisconsin was for both of us. It's difficult. It's a difficult adjustment. We're here 2 years now, and we came down here. We got our house within 3 months. We've been in this same house now for 2 years, and it's almost 2 years. November will be 2 years in our house. So we did this, like, we came down here and we did exactly what we said we were going to do. We got set up super quick, but still, it's 2 years later and we're still adjusting. So please know that takes time. It's not like you're going to come down here and this is woohoo vacation time. You have to come down here and, like, get your job, and, it's a beautiful life living here. It really is, but it's super laid back. It's super chill. Everything takes forever, and it's a whole different lifestyle than being up north. It really is. Now, with that said, let's get into me and a job. I still don't have a job, like a typical 9 to 5, but that's okay by me. Like, if y'all want to work a typical 9 to 5, that's on you. Would I like something? Yes. Am I taking my time kind of like trying to find it? Yes. With that said, that's the reason that we are considering looking in a different area and moving to a different area. I'm really having a hard time finding a family services position in this area, being that this is an older community where it's an older population, right? And I work with children and families, therefore I need to move where the families are, and I need to be within that population. And around here where we're at, it's just not like that. It's an older population. And there's not a lot of like young families here. We do have some places in mind that we're going to be looking where job opportunities are more plentiful for me. My husband can find a job pretty much anywhere he goes, and his company, he can just transfer within Florida wherever we go. But me, on the other hand, I'm still searching for that position, that one that, you know, it's gonna be my career. So I'm even considering looking for teaching positions again. It's not that I don't like teaching. I'm a preschool teacher, VPK, a Head Start, right? It's not that I don't like that. It's that I did not like the environment that I was teaching in. And I was teaching in a daycare environment, which is not ideal. For me, it could be great for other people, but I've done it for years, and for me, I'm at the end of my rope with daycares. I'm over it. They treat you like crap. It's just this whole thing. And yes, I like teaching. I don't mind being a teacher, but I need a more set schedule. And whereas I'm trying to get into Head Start in somewhere in Florida. Now, wherever that is, I don't know. I honestly can't tell you where we're going to end up at this point. We have some ideas. We're going to check out some places and we'll let you know. But no, I don't have a typical 9 to 5 job, what everyone thinks that you should live in life and this is how you're supposed to do it and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm a reseller. It's what I do, and that's what I've been focusing a lot on lately, and that's why I haven't been really making any videos, because it takes up a lot of my time. So I resell on the Poshmark app, okay? And that means that I go thrifting, or I find things in my own closet, or just things that, I would like to sell and get rid of and make some money off of because I'm not using it, and I resell it, and that's how I make an income right now. I wouldn't mind if that went full-time for me, so that's a goal for me. If I can make a full-time income on that, then that's what I'm going to do. Now, my husband's still working the same job. He is burnt out with his job though, because if you are planning on moving down here and you work in like the concrete, or you're a driver, or you're construction, or you're anything like that, you gotta know that Florida is booming in the construction industry, and you will work, my husband works 70 hours a week. We didn't come down here for my husband to work harder, right? And I've always lived by the rule that you work smarter, not harder. And I'm constantly telling my husband that I would really like it if you could find something different, that we could spend more time together, that it's not as rough on you, that you're not getting sleep, and you're getting older, and your body, it's all going to catch up to you. So he is actively looking for something different, as well as myself. So wherever that takes us, we don't know yet. But it hasn't been an extremely rough road as far as coming down here, getting jobs, and getting situated. The roughest thing, the one thing that we are having the most problem with, is all emotional, you guys. It is literally an emotional battle. If you have like ties like we do, and connections and such, my husband has a huge family back in Wisconsin, and I don't, but he does, and it's hard for him to give up all that, and I appreciate that so much. And it's hard for me to give up the kids and the grandkids, but at the same time, at the end of the day, we can't stop living our lives because other people, and because we're still young. So we're not going to give up our lives and just sit. That's not how we want to live. But with that said, also, my husband is not into change. He doesn't like change, whereas I like crave it. Like, I want that. Like, I need change in my life or I get bored. And honestly, it's beautiful here. I think if I had a job in this area that I would stay if I ever found that, one position. But I've been searching for 2 years, y'all, and I cannot find it. I literally cannot. I've had 3 teaching jobs that were in daycares. I prefer not to work in a daycare. I prefer a more structured environment and, a set time to go in, a set time to leave, where you're not left like over ratio with children, too many kids, only one teacher, stress, and just my health. I can't do that type of stuff anymore. Physically, I'm like drained of that career. In that environment. Now, could I go work for like a Head Start somewhere and work from 8 to 3:30 and be good? Absolutely. And I would be fine with that. But I'm not going to work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and kill myself for low pay and no benefits in a daycare setting. It's just not my thing anymore. I've done it for years. I just don't want to do it. Anyway, so with that all said, we are on the search for a new area to live in. So I will keep you updated on all that. There's not much else to really talk about. I mean, I've had a few personal things going on in my life that are kind of little, emotional setbacks, but it's all good. I'll be fine from it, and we just need to keep it moving. We're here together, we are a team, and we have really just decided that as long as we're together, that anything is possible, you guys. So we're happy. We're at our 2 years. We have 6 months left on our lease here in this house, and we will be looking for something else. Now, with that said, the reason that we're moving out of this place is that the landlord is very inattentive to our needs and things in the house that need to be done. He has done a lot of work, but then just kind of stopped. And I'm at the point where I'm not going to argue with him. I'm just not going to waste my energy arguing with this person. There are things in the house that still need to be done that I'm not satisfied with, and I haven't heard from him in a month. So it's like he did what he needed to do and then left a lot of things kind of like untouched and unfinished and not in the condition that the house was originally rented in. So no, I'm not happy with that. Like, if I rent a house in a certain condition and you come over here as the landlord and you destroy this house, like literally mess it up, and it's not as aesthetically pleasing as when I rented it, I'll be leaving. It's just not okay with me. Like, and then, rent over here is not cheap. So I feel like if you're going to ask me to pay an enormous amount of rent, that this house needs to be up to par, and it's really not. So with that said, I'm not going to argue with anybody. I'm not going to bug. I'm not going to bother. You know what needs to be done here. So when the time comes and we give you our 30 days, then don't be upset with that, because we do have a plan. I'm pretty sure he's sitting over there thinking they won't go anywhere. That's just not the case. Totally not true. I will pack my shit and I will be out of here in 6 months, and I'll give you a 30-day notice, and that will be the end of it. But gotta keep the peace, because your girl's gonna need a rental reference. So I'm keeping the peace. Am I happy? No. Am I okay with the fact that he messed up the house a little bit? And then I haven't heard or seen him in a month. He got the house in working order just enough for me to have like a 4th of July shebang, right, with a bunch of friends over, and then haven't heard from him. It is August 6th. I've not heard from him since before the 4th of July. And while, yes, our house is completely livable, everything is fine, I'm talking like aesthetics. Like, shit got messed up, and when the roof was off, and it was a whole thing, you guys, and he didn't follow through. He followed through with a new roof. I got hurricane straps, I got insulation, I got everything that we needed for the roof, and things are fixed. But he did such like a shabby job, and things were messed up for so long. We had some leaks, and we had this, and we had that. And while I got some of the stains off of the ceilings and stuff inside, he still needs to come through with paint. and paint. He still needs to paint on the outside and fix some stuff on the outside that he hasn't bothered doing. And it's just a whole list of stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to argue with this person. I'm not going to waste my energy doing that. And all I need to give him is 30 days when the lease is up, because I kind of have a feeling he's going to raise the rent after this, and that's just not okay with me. Okay, don't get me wrong. I like our little house, but there are some things that he needs to fix. Kind of like, he needs to fix it because he messed it up when he took the roof off, right? So there's paint, there's like some painting that needs to be done. And it's honestly, it's not major stuff. It really isn't. But I went through a lot of shit with this roof and everything that happened. And for him to just leave this stuff and like not even finish the project and just take off, and I haven't even heard from this dude for a month, it's really starting to irritate me. And I'm just going to keep my mouth shut over it. I'm not going to argue about it. And I'm just going to move on. It's just been rough, y'all. It's been an emotional freaking journey. I can say that these last 2 years, where I'm just like, but I'm the type of person that, you know, yep, I'll get bummed out for a little bit, but then I kind of like shake it off and keep it moving, because that's what we have to do in life, right? We deal with our emotions and we move on. So with all that said, that's how we feel about living in Florida at this point. We don't mind living in Florida. We know that like wages are low, but you know what? With two of us working full time, we can handle it, no problem. It's not a big deal for us. We're dream chasers. We're not money chasers. So I guess that's the difference between us and other people. Although we like our money, we just need to have a little bit extra. We don't need to have a lot. We're very minimal people. Yes, we have a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath house, and we live a comfortable lifestyle, but we're very minimalistic in that. Like, you know, we don't really need a lot of things, and we like that lifestyle. So if we don't really mind living in Florida, and as long as both of us have an income that is sustainable, that can sustain us both, and we can still do like our extracurriculars, we're fine. We're fine with it, really. So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has been going on. Right now, at this moment, we are okay. We're doing fine. We're not going to leave Florida. We don't want to make any big moves right now. We just don't think that that's the right thing to do at this point, is to be bouncing back and forth, or even moving to a different state or whatever. Right now, we just kind of want to give this a really good go. And it's been 2 years, and honestly, 2 years, you can't settle. We are just now starting to feel like this is our home, and it's been 2 years. So if you're gonna come here, you really need to just know that you need to give it time. You need to give it time, and that, you know, for the most part, everything has gone our way, you guys. Really has. We haven't had any like severe, like real struggles since being here. It wasn't hard to get over here and find jobs. It wasn't hard to get into our house. But we had the money and the credit for it. It wasn't, this whole process literally was not hard for us. The hardest part is the emotional journey. So with that said, there's more coming. I'm going to try to get back on a more regular schedule with uploading, because it's been a while. Just know that I will be probably touring and going to different areas and checking out other places for us to potentially live, and looking at housing. And the thing is too, is like where I live, I mean, we got probably a 900 square foot house. It's a tiny house. Even if I think it might be that big. I don't know. We have an attached garage and we have the lanai. But our house is not huge, and we pay a pretty decent amount. I think our rent is, our normal rent is actually below average for this area. But the thing is that the landlord is not attentive to us. So with that said, I mean, the house, yes, is livable. The house is fine. It's just that I think it's a cheapskate. I'm just keeping it real. I think it's a cheapskate, and it's pretty sad that when your tenants take care of your house better than you do. That's pretty sad. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, in our area, our house that we rent, this house is cheaper than most, and it is below like the average for our area. And because we can't find a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in our area for under $1,200. So I think that's probably going to be around the rate. We would love to be under that, and we're even throwing out the options of like condo living or just like apartment living, just so that we can have like better amenities, so we can get like a lot of the communities out here in apartment complexes and stuff, they come with like a pool. You can get a pool and like a workout facility, so I don't have to pay for like the gym and stuff like that. So we're kind of looking along those lines. And it would make it easier for my husband too, because like after working a 70-hour week, he does not want to come home then and mow the yard on the weekend and be outside in the heat, because he works outside in the heat all week. Anyway, with that said, there's going to be some changes. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep watching, and don't forget to hit the sub, like, and bell button. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.